Hey everybody, welcome back to CALLOUS Draft Duel. You guys have seen the drafts, and now it is time for the even more important part, the games themselves. This is quarterfinal action for a spot in the semis. Semis, of course, is comprised of only 4 players, and the top 3 players in this tournament will get paid out cash. So these guys are damn close to the money if they can secure a victory here. In fact, they'll have 2 opportunities to make money if they win here, because in the semifinals, even if you lose, you then play the 3rd place match against the other guy who lost, and if you beat him, you get money. So you would have to lose twice in a row after this to not make money, should you win here. And obviously, that's what these guys are going to try to do. So as with every other match that I've covered, how we got here, the draft is in the description. If you want to go back and check out that video, we go into detail, pick by pick. But now it is time to see it all play out. It is Gang and Arctic. Neither one is on an alt. You should know who's who. Let's get into this best of 3. Gang on the bottom, Arctic on the top, Metacham and Zard respectively. Slow King comes in, and that hidden power maybe flying, specifically targeted at the Metacham. T-Wave there, going to hit Raikou, which is terrible unless it has Rest or Heal Bell somewhere. And it's even more terrible that that happened. So, I mean, Zard isn't going to have Rest, so... God, this is awful. Double switch Dugtrio into Raikou. It doesn't even matter now if it's Heal Bell in the back. I mean, it would still fix Zard, but you're just flat out down a Raikou this early with nothing whatsoever to show for it. And it's not looking like for Gang like he even maybe has a Heal Bell in the back. He still could with 2 unrevealeds, but this is a disaster start. Arctic has absolutely bobbed, weaved, and outmaneuvered him pretty cleanly in these early stages. The double wave, devastating. The Doug double switch to kill Raikou for free, devastating. And Arctic, seemingly, it didn't look like it at first with a Metacham lead, but has like a little stally or semi-stally team going on here. Normally, the Zard would be pretty damn threatening against what Arctic has shown, but not while it's paralyzed. Aerodactyl can maybe do some damage, but Registeel on the other side, and there's screens going on. Arctic came prepared. And he's just going to give up the Steelix. He doesn't even want to switch something else into S-Toss. Protect to scout the Choice Band move. And we now know it's hidden power. Could be fighting, think it's flying. Literally just concedes. Wow. I think it took me longer to do the intro to the game than the actual game. Hoping game 2 and a potential game 3 a little bit better than that, but let me just real quick look at the teams. So Arctic, the last thing that he didn't show that he's not going to be able to use going forward is Heracross, okay? And then Gang, let's see, the 2 Mons that he didn't show, Milotic and Kangaskhan were the 2 in the back. But pretty bad train wreck here, if we're just calling it for what it is. Arctic really, really crushed him in this game, was not close. Gang going to have to mentally shake it off and just refocus and get to the next game. That's all you can do. So here is that second game, and I will go ahead and switch the sides for continuity, keeping Gang on the bottom. Here's game 2. He's going to lead Regirock, and Arctic has a Claydol. And he's going to go for screens again. T-Wave there, over prediction, hoping for a switch. But the second T-Wave is good. That will hit a target, being Fori. But with double screen, he's pretty safe to spike up. He's still going to not want to stay in against Entei, and he's going to switch. But that one spike was pretty damn safe and foolproof. T-Wave does connect with Lack, so some paralyzed things on each side. Mence comes in for a relevant Intimidate, and full para as well. So even if he was going to try to get him with Body Slam there, never gets the chance. Out he goes to Regirock. Claydol should win this matchup, but he might just set up screens again. And he's going to start with Light Screen. In comes Gengar, and there is screen number 2, Reflect. Entei back in, as is Fori. See if it'll scare him off. And it does, despite the light screen. That hidden power, I guess, is Grass, or I guess it could be like Electric or Dark or something, but probably just Grass. Going to hit the Starmie, but because of the light screen, it does a paltry 20%. Surf, of course, underwhelming on the Lax, and Body Slam does come back. That only did 24 because the Reflect was still up, but it's about to fade. And out we go. Another Intimidate, Body Slam. No, another full para as the men switches in, not even giving him the chance to get a Body Slam paralysis there. Claydol and Slowbro, light screen again, anticipating Surf. Crit opportunity there, would have killed the doll, but no such luck. And now Starmie comes in. Surf again, hoping that the doll stays in. And he gets the crit against that, but not the target he was looking for. Just going to recover, crisis averted, and Lax reappears for Gang. Fori is almost certainly going to get a spike, maybe even 2 spikes off here. Gang's going to have to hope for some full paras, and he does get one, so that prevents another spike from coming down. Starmie comes into Flamethrower, 19%, unexciting. Entei is going to be forced out yet again without doing much of anything. Here comes Slowbro, and the Surf was just in case the Entei stayed in and got cute, but it didn't. Red Jice comes in, staring down his compatriot on the other side, Redger Rock. We'll see if those two have a face-to-face meeting in this game. They almost did, but not quite. Rock Slide going to miss, and Spike's going to come down through the para. That's layer number 2, and we know that Gang cannot remove them. Full team revealed, no spinner. Slide again. No such luck with the para flinch, and Spike's number 3 going to come down. Fori really doesn't have a lot of purpose now. Yeah, might as well fling a Toxic. I mean, you're not going to spin. You don't need a spike anymore. Your opponent has neither spikes nor spin for himself, so Fori has done its job. But that was a good boom there. Pretty nice prediction. Would have been bad to boom into Fori there, but does manage to connect with Mence, which might be the ideal target, so Gang making some plays to get himself back in this. Arctic going to get greedy and go for Thunder rather than Thunderbolt, and as such will miss. Thunderbolt, I think, might have killed Slowbro there. Regice now paralyzed. Surf and Thunder. Thunder will be enough from 55%. Down that goes. Here comes Loom. 4-5 situation. Arctic up, and he's got a Secret Mon still in the back. Ice Beam popping the sub. He's going to obviously keep doing this and fish for a full para, which he does find, so a little bit of a window of opportunity for Gang. Focus Punch coming, and Claydol with the resist. The question now is, do you have HP Ghost? Do you have Spore? I guess you could Leech Seed, but it might just get Rapid Spun away. Here comes Umbreon. It is Spore. Fair enough. That takes a nap. Focus Punch going to come down here, obviously. And another fighting resist. Starmie and Claydol, and Mence for that matter, so he's pretty well padded against Breloom. And he doesn't seem to have HP Ghost, but Arctic is going to scout for it just in case. Focus Punch takes out the Fori, and we've got ourselves a 4-4 with the Loom still safely behind a sub. But we see the last move here, and it is not the HP Ghost that he would really like to have in this matchup. The Stun Spore is good on the doll. I'm not sure about subbing up here. It doesn't seem worth it. The Focus Punches would not be that good, even if you do manage to get behind a sub. I think I would switch here. But he sees it differently, and he's pretty much locked in now when he's that low and there's 3 spikes down. So, going to try it one more time, and Claydol has gotten 3 consecutive Psychics off through para. Going to go for Focus Punch now, and finally a para kicks in, but this is what I'm talking about. Only 42% on the Focus Punch. Going to go for it again. Reflect. Going to keep him alive. Going to have to go for it again. And this time Starmie comes in, but it's going to be A-OK. Crit there would have been necessary. Recover absolutely about to happen, and Breloom cannot stop it. Best he can do is get him with Stun Spore, which does connect through imperfect accuracy, but he'll natural cure that away whenever he switches out. Gonna again try to fish for full paras with sub, but doesn't get it. Breloom will die to a Surf here if full para doesn't happen, but he doesn't go for it. He's gonna play it really safe and go for the switch. Claydol does die to the Focus Punch despite the Reflect, and Gang actually, who was really far behind earlier, briefly takes his first lead of the game, but the Starmie Revenge Kill makes it 3-3, and we've got ourselves a real game, keeping in mind that the Umbreon is still asleep from the Spore and has killed 0 sleep turns thus far. Possibly a premature explosion there. I don't know that I love that. Gengar was still very healthy. I don't know that that's the play that I would have made, but he sees it differently. He's going to boom there. Entei on Starmie. Does this actually go Gang's way, though? He might simply be trying to go down to Last Poke Lax, but I don't know. I still think even, I mean, the boom is fine at some point, but it still feels early to me. I don't feel like he needed to boom right there, but clearly the vision that Gang has in his mind is winning with last poke lax, and this right here is one example as to why that might not work. The fact that the Umbreon has charm and good on Arctic to come prepared and bring that is going to make life really, really difficult. Toxic there, not a misplay for Arctic. You don't know at this point if he's got immunity or thick fat. There's no reason to not scout for it. So if you had connected with Toxic, great. If not, you don't lose much. Now you know, okay, he's immunity rather than thick fat, and we carry on. But the fact that the Umbreon has charm, I think, really makes you go back and second guess if Gar should have boomed there. Now I think it's over. Now I think Gang loses. I mean, that crit obviously had a luck factor, but Starmie was probably still winning that 1v1 anyway, and now I don't know that Lax can win through Charm Umbreon. Yeah, I think it's over. I think if it really comes down to it, Arctic could even PP stall him out if it really had to be that way, but Charm is exactly what he needs to neutralize this Lax, and as we know, Gang has absolutely no way to switch out of it or reset those boosts or whatever. He can curse up, but Charm reduces his attack at double the rate that Curse boosts it, and Charm has more PP, I believe. Yeah, 32 versus just 16 curses, so double the PP. There's a crit, but like, not enough. He's so low attack-wise, and even if you were to double crit the Umbreon, which is not the most likely thing, even then, he would still have the super-duper diminished attack and have to go through the other pokes. But I think the vast majority of the time, I think the Umbreon alone is going to be able to beat him here. I think he can legit just PP stall him out. He's never going to attack him, so he's never going to give him the opportunity to rest and kill turns for free. Goes to Regice here. That's the other thing. What's to prevent him from passing wishes there, as he just did? That was a one-turn window to crit, and if he doesn't, which he didn't, the wish happens, and Arctic is that much healthier. It's Gang's prerogative to go through the motions, and if he loses this game, he's out of the tournament, so why wouldn't you play it out? But I don't see how Gang can win. I think Charm is the exact counter that Arctic needed, and I think it's good homework and good prep for Arctic to bring that, but yeah, I mean, you're seeing the body slams now. You're seeing the non-crit body slams, basically negating lefties and absolutely nothing more. And Arctic knows to not actually damage the Lax. I mean, the Umbreon, it looks like, can't damage the Lax, but not with anything else either. You don't want to give him rest. You don't want to let him kill sleep turns. Just going to heal his Regice up and probably go right back to Umbreon. Or Starmie, sure. I don't think Starmie is going to attack either. Yeah, just going to Rain Dance. Why not? He's actually going to attack, which is interesting. I guess he's just trying to speed this up, but with or without rest, I don't think this is doable for Gang. And he does have rest, so like, sure. But just prolongs it, I think. Surf Crit would certainly speed us up, especially in the rain. Doesn't manage to find that, but really, really, truly, how would Gang get out of this? Takes a nap, and we're going to have a couple more rain-boosted surfs coming down. Doing about 30 a whack without a crit. We might cross turn 100, which has been a rarity in this particular format, this particular tournament, but other than being a footnote somewhere, I don't believe that changes anything at all for the ultimate ending of this game. And Gang, who I am confident, not trying to get ahead of myself, but confident can't win this game, I want to say has looked good throughout this tour, has had a good run, should be proud of a quarterfinals performance, and certainly hope that if this format is to continue in one form or another, future tournament, future league, what have you, I would love to have you, Gang, participate in that. Certainly good enough, strong player, great run. Was a pleasure having you, good sir. But it's over. Come on. We've crossed turn 100. I'll stay here. I'm not gonna walk away or start singing or whatever, but We truly are just going through the motions here. There's just no way out of this. In hindsight, if he had not boomed the Gar, would that have made the difference definitively? Not necessarily, but I think that Gang would have had more of a chance than he has here, which is truly just about zero, if he had been a little more conservative and prolonged the Gengar just a bit. It just gives him the out. I mean, we didn't see the full Gar set, but it just gives him the out of Ice Punch freezing something, Thunderbolt crit, para, whatever. Bad prediction for Arctic, you managed to get somebody, whatever. It gives him a chance to maybe get there, even if it requires BS. I mean, again, ultimately, would the Gengar have really beaten the Regice? Probably not, but, like, as it played out the second he boomed, he was pretty boned unless the Entei got, like, really, really lucky against the Starmie. I think he was trying to get to last Mon Laxed, and I think he felt very secure in that. I really think it was as simple as he was not anticipating Charm, which is something that any of us could be very guilty of. It's not a move that gets played basically ever in OU. It's pretty janky, it's pretty uncommon, it's very specialized. It's exactly what Arctic needed in this case, and great on him to bring that. That was really good preparation, and just a really heads-up, good thinker kind of move. But yeah, it's very easy as the opposing player to just not think about it. He probably thought he had it in the bag. He probably is thinking, oh, it's Toxic, Protect, Wish, Pursuit, Umbreon, or something like that, and Starmie can't beat me. Umbreon sure as hell can't beat me as last poke Lax. Maybe Regice can boom on me, but its boom is so bad, and I'll just curse up. I've got this in the bag. Gang must have thought for sure that if he goes to last poke Lax, he can't lose. So I get the thought process for him, and I think a lot of the time he would be correct in that thought process. If the last poke Lax would just win the game, I think he, simple as that, just did not remember or think about Charm. Or he thought, even if it did come to his mind, that it's very, very unlikely that Arctic actually brought it. And as it turns out, Arctic had exactly what he needed, and it won him the game. But I think it's super duper easy. I mean, we could be armchair commentators all we want and be like, oh, duh, you idiot, why didn't you play around Charm? You basically just punted the game, you moron. But it's super easy to do that from the outside looking in. As a player, I think it's very easy to either forget about, not think about, or remember and assume that your opponent doesn't have Charm. And a lot of the time you're going to be right, and a lot of the time the Lax would win the game here. So I would have liked to see him, like I said, hang on to the Gengar a little bit longer, but I really don't fault Gang for feeling like his last poke Lax was going to get it here. Arctic had what he needed, and good on him. That's the kind of stuff that wins games in this format, and Arctic is our first semifinalist. Well earned. Hope you guys enjoyed this. We have all three of the other semifinal matches still to come, two of which have played out already at the time of this recording, so we're going to get on that. And yeah, as always, once we get to the actual semifinals, you'll see the drafts, you'll see the matches. Everything there is to do with this tournament will be here for the rest of the tour. So, hit that like button if you would, please. Subscribe, perhaps, if you've not already done so. And I will see you in the next video.